It's unappreciative, number one. And number two is disrespectful. And number three, and you're sitting there acting like I owe you something.
Facts.
You owe me your life.
Woo!
You owe me your life.
Mic drop. What's going on YouTube? This is JayB Reaction. We are back here with another video. Now today I want to take a step back and I want to review Judge Mathis getting his wife back. You know, Judge Mathis is from a different era, a different time period. He's cut from a different cloth. But he's been getting flack online about him wanting his wife back. People saying that he is a SIMP. Anton Daniels, their panel covered this topic. I'm gonna be honest, this segment, they do not agree at all. This is going to be a man versus woman situation on how they view a man taking his woman back after she publicly divorced him or filed for a divorce, but she has now retracted the divorce and everything is supposedly peaches and cream. So we are going to dissect her points and we are going to dissect Anton Daniels' points, and we also have the Angryman on here also as a featured guest. I think everybody can learn and listen to this, especially the guys. This is technically somewhat a men's channel that I try and operate because I'm a man myself and I have to go off the man's perspective, but we're here to help everyone, men and women. So I don't want to talk y'all heads off. Let's dive into it.
Did Kari give her perspective on Judge Mathis yet?
Nope. No. We waiting.
No, I did not.
Come on with your expensive ass microphone.
Expensive mic.
Fucking Angryman got one of them bitches too.
I watched their reality series, and one of the things that they talked about was, and he did as well, was that they're now at a stage where they're going to spend more time together. Excuse me. And like do more of the things that they had said they would do as a couple. And I just looked it up. They've been married for almost 40 years. So I get it. I think that she has definitely proven that she respects her man's natural tendency to want to work, to want to put his purpose before everything.
And premise also, the reason why she went into the divorce, which they might explain later on, but I'm going to give y'all a little bit of preface since it's so early in the video. She basically divorced because he promised her that he would stop working as much and I think spend more time and go on more vacations with his wife. That's where the premise of all this came from, why she was asking for the divorce, because he's a workaholic for the, you know, for the lifestyle that he lives.
At the same time, I think a big benefit of being married for the long haul is your golden years. He's like 60 something years old. She's 61.
Probably 70.
Their kids are older. They're already successful. And they said this in the show. They're financially fine. So if he made a promise to her that they were going to start living their life a certain way, and whatever happened, that he didn't do that or what have you, then maybe for her, it wasn't like, I'm gonna leave you if you don't change. Maybe it was, listen, it's clear you're not able to do what you said, but that doesn't mean that I just sit and just be. Like, maybe it wasn't an ultimatum to him. It was more so, this is what I gotta do for me. I don't know. So yeah. him coming back and trying to fix that, I don't see anything wrong with that. I'm kind of like where Mika was. What would be wrong with that? At what point is that a okay thing to do? And in terms of her body language and demeanor, like, it's clear in the video that she
Mika up there looking like a cute fish. I'm sorry, I just had to say that. It just was on my mind.
She was still in a space, but she held it together by keeping quiet. And I kind of looked at it like the episode of Martin when Martin messed up and he took Gina.
I'm sorry, y'all. Angryman in the middle. The way his face just stuck, like he looking like, what the hell is you talking about? He like, he don't even know where he at. I'm sorry, y'all. I sometimes I do that. I'm sorry. Let's continue.
In the bedroom, like, look, like, you know, we making up. But when we go back outside, I kind of got to make it look like, you know, like I won. So can you know what I'm saying? Can you just kind of, that's Martin, how it came across to me.
Yeah, and Martin should have left her on that episode. I'd have left her.
No, angry man.
And here's
Stuck
the
in
thing.
the basement, sitting
Hey,
on the tricycle, girl, getting on my nerves.
she was with him for 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, you don't get to threaten to leave me after 40 years.
That's
I'm
a long
sorry.
time.
Leave me and go where? You can take
So
your
let-
you
oh,
can
go ahead,
take your
sorry.
you can take your old biscuits
Go to
out here in
Judge
them
Joe
streets if
Brown.
you want to.
Yeah.
But don't know. I'd have told her straight up.
Them
Don't
biscuits about to get baked. They about to get baked in the streets. And you Judge Mathis wife? Boy, they about to have a field day with them buns.
nobody want no old biscuits. Where you gonna go
Yeah.
and get with who? Like you
Judge
bugging.
Joe Brown.
We've been here for 40 years. 40
Yeah.
years. Nah, she don't want Joe Brown. Joe Brown, he don't play none of that. But no, we've been together
Facts.
40 years.
Joe Brown gonna come out there like, first of all, you gonna sit your ass down. You're not gonna play with me. You're gonna cook my oatmeal and my eggs and everything and have it right there for me. Yeah, Judge Joe Brown don't play.
Oh no, you can't be threatening to leave me after 40 years and I done grinded and got all of this paper.
Facts.
Do you think maybe Angryman, it was just a threat?
Yeah, it was a threat and he fell for it.
I'm gonna be honest. Even the threat is not cool. Don't threaten me with divorce. Don't do that because now your heart not in it. So that part I don't like on the wife's side. Don't threaten me with divorce. Like why do that? That's like the ultimate disrespect. Like you gonna threaten me with a paper that's gonna damn near ruin both our lives, and you gonna destroy all the moments that I fought in battle for you. Like us as men, we gladiators out there on the field fighting every day for our families. And it's like to do that is wild. But let's continue. I don't want to rant too much early.
He fell for it. He buckled. He didn't call her bluff. I would have called her bluff. Cause I'd have been like, look, we can spend all the time in the world together in a cardboard box. I don't gotta work. We can sit around and look at each other all day broke.
Mm-hmm.
Kari, why you
I'm
say
pretty sure that they're probably to a point in their life where he could give some of the time that she's looking for and they would still be financially okay. Like I think you're making it an extreme
But that's not
to say that if he fulfills whatever promise he apparently made to her, that or if he were to fulfill that, they will go broke. I think that's a stretch.
No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is
I'm about to piece in a point right now. When we give up too much time to y'all, we become less sharp. When we stay on our purpose, our passion, our grind, it keeps us youthful. Look at Judge Mathis, the little silhouette at the bottom of him. He looks very youthful still. I don't know how old exactly he is, but he looks youthful. Working, staying consistently, it keeps you sharp in the mind. If you just start, just chilling and relaxing and just going on vacations and eating all the type of exotic foods, he's gonna get fat and out of shape and his mind is gonna fucking dwindle away. He might get Alzheimer's. You have to stay pushing. That engine has to keep pumping. Good oil, good gasoline, race fuel. You feel me? Like that's what keeps us going, man. But when we let that go, we go.
Is the whole reason why a lot of men grind the way they grind is to be able to provide a life for their wife and for their children, and then to turn around and
yo, my bad, y'all, but this dude Quentin over here eating cheese like he got damn Mickey Mouse in the corner.
Weaponize that against him is not fair. It's a better way to have that conversation than to threaten to leave him. That's what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. You threatening to leave him for doing the very thing that has you in the lifestyle that you're living right now.
Exactly.
That's not
cool.
She could have had a conversation with him instead of putting his business out in the street. Got all of us looking at him crazy, like, bruh, what's going on with you and your woman? Like everybody know about it. That's not cool, especially for people at their age. Those people at that age don't usually put their business in the street like that.
Yeah, that's disrespectful.
Well, I don't know what she specifically put out or if it was that the filing became public. So if she put information out, I agree with you that she shouldn't have put anything out publicly. At the same time, we don't know the level of conversations that she has had with him. When I watched the show, this was a few years ago. And they were talking about this on the show. So that's a long time to be having the conversation of, can we make time for us now? And I think that she's done a good job in showing that she does understand, if I want the lifestyle, if I want my children to be taken care of, and if I'm with a man who is driven like that, I have to play my position. At the same time, there's also got to be a back end benefit to that. There's no point in you doing that all your life if you're telling me towards the final quarter, or however much time they have left, we still can't choose what we do with our time. Like, all 40
But
years of marriage, however many years of success, you're telling me you're still that it's still that mandatory for you to move how you've been moving for us to be able to live the life we want to live now at 60 something years old. I
don't think she getting the fact that they've been married for 40 years. She had the glitz and glamour for majority of that. She's lived a well above normal lifestyle. And you're going into your older age and you're still able to, like, imagine being able to go to the doctor, not have to worry about certain forms of payment for, like most people have to, or medicine, or if you get sick, you can get scanned immediately, you can get checked immediately. There's little things like that that she not thinking about just because she want more of his time. And you signed up to be with this man. You still on his program even into your older age. Let's continue.
buy that.
But
I don't think those men ever change, though, Karen.
but
No.
but
I
in
don't think
all
those men ever change.
my bad. But in all
Oh, no, go ahead. I'm
fairness,
sorry.
in all fairness, like Judge Mathis, he's from Detroit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another
So
Anton.
you got a brother from Detroit that came from the bottom. And one of the things that I think a lot of times y'all women don't really understand about dudes that come from the bottom. A lot of times we're always waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Mm-hmm.
You're scared.
So
I got you.
So how much money is enough money? You see what I'm saying? So
Never
when
enough.
it's never enough. So when you grinding, you're fighting not only to gain and improve, but you're fighting to maintain as well.
Facts.
So I'm pretty sure in his mind, he probably looking at it like, okay, what if this happens, or what if that happens, or I could stop working and we could start going on vacations and traveling the world, but the money we got, is it really going to be enough? That's always a thought.
True.
In our heads, like, how much is enough? You feel me? Because you have situations where you get new administrations and they start doing goofy stuff. Hell, they was talking about taxing unrealized gains and stuff. Like, so you never know if your nest egg
That's true.
is good. Matter of fact, it's people right now that had a nice nest egg back in the day and they out here working at McDonald's.
Gone.
So you never know, like, if
Facts.
it's enough. You feel, because what is he like, worth 30 million?
You always fighting. I think he just said that he's worth like 30 million, but you're always fighting against your own lifestyle and you're fighting against society and anything like you said, certain taxes, certain things being implemented, disaster, random things happening. You just don't know. So it never stops. The grind don't stop. Like you have to keep, you have to understand that men, we fight till the day we die. We don't stop fighting, ladies. We gonna fight until we can't fight no more. On our deathbed, we are fighting. Just get with a fighter and hold him down.
I don't know.
I think he's worth like 30 million.
His wife can always find a rich young boy
So let me
on the
ask you this
side.
then.
It'll be more
How-
exciting. Yo.
I don't know if this is accurate, but it said 25 million
25
on Yahoo, Lord Jesus, Yahoo.
She thinking about the chocolate milk.
Showing my age. Okay, so then let me ask you this then, because I get what you're saying, and I have heard people speak like that. I think even Snoop said that he still sleeps on the floor sometimes just to like remind him of what it was like or whatever. Like, I get that. I don't want to undervalue that, what you said. At the same time, what does she do then? How does she respect that? How does she respect the kind of husband she has? How does she respect all of those things and still advocate, if you will, for the time that she wants to spend with her husband at this point in their life?
I think there's somewhere they can meet in the middle, where it's like, okay, well, look, I'm not about to retire. Like I'm
No.
working to the day I die. That's just what it is.
That's a
Facts.
fact.
But
Okay.
I'm with you,
what
brother.
we can do is we can set aside a time once a year to go on a vacation together and spend time together.
Now I'm gonna be honest. I don't agree with once a year. I feel like that's I say once a month. You know, once a month to go somewhere. That's good for both of y'all. You want to decompress your damn self too. Once a year, that's very, very tight stretch. That's like giving no time for vacations and family. I would say once a month, I'm cool with. Or once every 2 months, but it gotta be more frequent than once a year for sure.
Like, why is it gotta be all or nothing? Why we gotta just go ahead and say, okay, well, you need to stop working? Like, because I don't know if y'all realize this, but a lot of people, a lot of men especially, they're driven by their purpose, which is usually what they're doing. If they're successful, it's usually what they do for a living.
True.
And what usually happens with men after they retire, they usually die right after.
That's
Yep.
true.
That's true.
Yep. That's why I said, Kari, I don't think those men ever change.
Mm-mm.
Well, and that's why I'm thinking that maybe that is what happened, Angryman, that maybe the compromise conversation did happen, and maybe he's really willing to do what he said in the compromise. Like, for all we know, they had a conversation and he said, all right, we'll go once a year, and maybe he didn't do that. Like, maybe the little bit that he promised, he didn't do at all. And maybe her filing or threatening to file, whichever one it was enough for him to be like, oh shoot, I really need to at least make good on the one trip a year. Like, that's what I'm
Let me
hoping.
tell you why she wrong, because just because I missed out on that one trip, you can't discredit everything I've done for you. All the sacrifice, all the grind, the blood, sweat, the tears, the amount of times this man ain't felt like doing the show when he was doing the Judge Mathis show or whatever else it was that he was doing. All the times he didn't feel like it and he had to do it. While you was at home just being a pretty housewife. You didn't have to work. So you have to take that into account, and you worried about him taking you on a trip when you live the lifestyle. Oh.
Let me throw my little 2 cents in here real quick.
And talking about the cook. Let's see.
I just can't. First of all, it's embarrassing.
Oh, yeah.
She embarrassed him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Preach.
saying? Secondly, I think that Judge Mathis is a simp. And he's one of the people, even the way that he was talking in that video, it was embarrassing. It was like he was shucking and jabbing. Oh, you know, this was like, God damn it. Drop your balls down just a little bit, man. Like, God, where's your masculinity at? Oh, it's my wife. I'm not going to speak for her because I'm trying to get it back. Like, man, get the fuck out.
Matter of fact, just so I could preface that video, I really want to play it because they played it, I believe. I think they did. Yeah, let me try and rewind this back and let me keep my place where I'm at. It's going to be a lot. Just give me a second, y'all. All right, let's play it.
Said what, Quentin?
I said he got his bitch back.
Thank you. Isn't this beautiful? And that's not for television. We kiss all the time, y'all.
Happy.
Okay, so I have to ask, how are you guys doing? The internet loves you two together. I mean, how's it going?
We're doing well. You know, I think what happens is sometimes in life, God has to break you down to lift you up and put you on another mission. You know, as a street kid, went to jail, came out, I was on a mission to help street youth, and I have for 25 years. Now, I'm on a mission to help black love. How about that?
Okay, so is he out of the doghouse a little bit? What would you say?
Huh?
Is he out of the doghouse a little bit or something?
That's for her to say, but I think so. But I'm not going to be arrogant enough and cocky enough to speak for her.
Okay, so how much longer until reconciliation between you two? What are we finally,
We're standing here right now together.
So,
all right, let's fast forward back to where they were at because I want to get Anton's opinion because I have an opinion on this also. I mean, I kind of want to give it now. He's from a different generation. He's from a different generation of men that moved a different way. The women were different back then, but he's still facing today's kind of problems with his wife kind of pulling his stunt. She's kind of in the new move of women, which is why she even did that. But I'll give him my thoughts further after Anton gives his
2 cents in here real quick.
10.
I just can't. First of all, it's embarrassing. She embarrassed him. You know what I'm saying? Secondly, I think that Judge Mathis is a simp, and he's one of the people. Even the way that he was talking in that video was embarrassing. It was like he was shucking and jabbing. Oh, he haw. You know, it's just like, God damn it! Drop your balls down just a little bit, man. Like, God, where's your masculinity at? Oh, it's my wife. I'm not gonna speak for her because I'm trying to get it back. Like, man, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, I'm not gonna embarrass myself like that. I'm still a man at the end of the day. That's another thing. And she wasn't fully on board, even in front of the camera. She just like, oh, well, we gonna figure it out. Like, God damn it, man.
that is true.
This is all bad. That's number 3. But number 4, I can't, man. I can't. I'm not about to stop working. I don't want to.
That's right.
Okay, so
yeah.
So Kari, let me ask you a question. Look at Rita. Look at Rita. Let me ask you a question, Kari. What are they supposed to do all day? What the fuck does this translate into? I'm just curious.
Good question.
Okay, see, and this is
what do we do, Miss Kari, when we don't work and just chill?
This is the part that I think is something that's on you all's end, because she did not come across to me as the type who was expecting him to just stop. When women say they want time with their man, we love y'all, but we don't want y'all around us all the time either. So if we say we want time, let me stop, because somebody said I'm projecting, like I'm talking about my husband. So
no, you're talking in general.
She wants time. Let me correct myself. If a woman says she wants time, especially with a man who is not only working all the time, but he's actually like providing a nice lifestyle, I'm 9 times out of 10 sure that she does not mean all the time. So kind of to Angryman's, I don't know about the once a year thing. That was, unless you're taking a month vacation. But it's like, hey, can we
once a year is
work
wild.
in some time for us? And let's
do
figure
what?
out what that
To
means.
do what?
So here's what we do. Let's figure out what that means. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I would say too, she could have said that maybe for maybe the lifestyle he lives, it might be some cheating going on or something. And she want him around. Some women just want a man there with them just to make sure they're not doing no other shit. It ain't even the fact that they want to go on vacation or chill or watch a movie or do or eat whatever. They want to make sure you not getting into no other shit, which could possibly be detrimental to her feelings or thought process.
Give me an example. Just give me an example.
Okay, so it could mean let's go away for a weekend. It could mean let's have date night. It could mean let's, usually it's just a date, or it's
boo. I'm just playing. Let me stop.
Let's watch a movie, or it's let's go away. It's not that many things that we want when we say let's spend time.
Fuck.
It's not that many things.
Fuck that.
But see, y'all are like, no, fuck that. I ain't spending time with you. Like, I don't. That's
no, it ain't. See, you added words. You added words. No, you added words. I did not say that last word.
Somebody said in the chat, Kari, you backsliding the Democratic.
That's what it translates to in y'all mind. That is not what I said. Listen. I don't know how to explain this to y'all, but we don't think the way that y'all think.
True. Very different brains.
We don't see things the way that y'all see it. We don't think that, the way that we show that we love y'all is the fact that we go out there and grind every fucking day. And I'm going to just tell you, 90% of everything that we do is for y'all.
That is true.
90% of everything that we take in, we bring it back home. We put it back into the family. We build houses for y'all. We make sure that we, you know what I'm saying? But before I
real blood, sweat, and tears out here. on the man's sheets?
First started spending one dime on myself, I'm gonna use myself as an example. Before I ever spent one dime on myself, I made sure that my daughter's college was taken care of. I made sure that my wife had money to where, if anything was to ever happen to me, they would be taken care of for the rest of their life. And I made sure that she would be in a position to always never need anybody and that my family was straight before I spent one dime on myself.
Yes.
And even then, we still always, in the back of our mind, think about the things that we do that's going to affect the people that surround us. That's what any real man, for any married man, for any man that's really dedicated. So it almost seems unappreciative that a woman will leverage that and weaponize that to file for a fucking divorce, talking about you don't spend enough time. You're telling, translation to us, right or wrong, good or bad, translation to us, it's unappreciative, number one. And number two is disrespectful. And number three, you ain't put no effort into creating some type of life outside of us that keeps you productive and also doing things. And you're sitting there acting like I owe you something.
Facts.
You owe me your life.
Woo.
You owe me your life.
Mic drop.
Without me, you would be trading in your time for money in order to be in the same position as the rest of these raggedy bitches out here that ain't got no pension, no 401k, and the only thing they're going to be dependent on is Social Security for the rest of their life. You owe me everything. Every fucking thing. And and I'm just telling you, to men, it's disrespectful and it's ungrateful because...
Process it, Kari. It's a lot to take in. Process it. Because he's spitting facts right now. Pure facts, Aline.
We trade in everything to make sure that you have what you want to do.
Yes.
And so fucking what? We go and we do productive shit and we continue to dedicate ourselves and we may hang out with our friends here and there. And if you want to join along, then you need to get your motherfucking flight to join me too. But for me to have to make sure that I put everything to the side after I've sacrificed my entire life for you to go and disrespect me by making me look bad and file for a fucking divorce and knowing that that's a public document and I'm a public figure, fuck you.
Woo!
Yeah. In my mind, I'm like, fuck you and fuck the boat that you came in on. Okay, take half of this shit. I'm going to move on. And then you take your raggedy ass and do whatever it is that you want to do. Because that's some disrespectful shit. That's some to us.
I ain't gonna lie. That is worthy enough to cut the cloth on. Because literally, you willing to disrespect me, shame me, let the media, let the world bring me down into the dirt. He already had to fight tooth and nail to get up to the top where he's at. And for the woman next to you in your quarters, in your bed, to be the one to try and publicly shame you is very disrespectful. She really does deserve to kind of be kicked out. Go. You've already broken the line. Take your 10, 15 mil, how much ever you gonna get, live your life. Get your old cheeks busted in for the rest of your life, because that's what's gonna happen. Them buns about to get dusted out there in them streets.
Two men, right or wrong, is disrespectful.
Yes.
And it's like, if you want to join along, cool. But what you should have been doing is also having some value and some purpose to this earth. Get fucking busy. If the only thing that you telling me you doing is sitting around all day waiting for me to come home, then you an unproductive bitch in my mind. And I'm not saying bitch as a disrespectful word. I'm saying you bitchy because the minute that I come into the door, you're going to be whining about what it is that I haven't done as far as spending time with you when I've been dedicating my whole life to making sure that you're taken care of.
Facts.
The fuck out of my face.
Story time on my end real quick. Let me push time pause that, Anton. Just give me 1 second, please, brother. I bought my wife a car this was some years ago, like 2018, 2017. I've never bought like a brand new car before for myself. Man, I knew the car she had was getting a little more worn out. So I'm like, man, you know what? First thing I thought was immediately about her. Instead of let me go ahead and buy myself, let me go ahead and make sure my wife's straight so she can get back and forth, make sure our kids riding good, all that good stuff. But we always put our women that we value in our life, we put them first always. We put them first because we don't want anything to happen to them because we know it's on us. So we face that burden. So if you ever hear things like this come up, like, you're not doing enough for me, or you just don't give me that amount. What about the times where I grind tooth and nail, man, trying to make sure you had it? That's why I get where it's disrespectful, but I'm gonna explain why I see why Judge Mathis does that.
Now I get it. Listen, if we want to communicate, oh, you love me, you pining for me, you want to be with me or whatever, I get that. I ain't tripping about that. I'm still a man. I'm still a nigga. I'm still gonna be in the street, which means that I'm coming home to you, and you just gonna have to join along, and we can travel along, or you gonna go along on my work trips. Let's have some fun or whatever, and I'll figure it out. But for you to file for divorce is disrespectful. Because you know what that's going to do to my reputation, and you know that it's going to make me look bad, and you know TMZ is going to be waiting for me at the airport.
Facts.
Yeah.
You know Tasha K can't wait to do a fucking stream on me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And
they salivating at the mouth of the thought of you dropping the ball or fucking up, so they can go ahead and make a hit piece about you.
For me personally, it's hard, and maybe it's just because I'm a man's man, but it's hard, and it's gonna be some give and take, and it's always gonna be a yin and a yang. Mm-hmm. The yin, if you want to be with a guy that can spend more time with you, then you can't have this lifestyle.
That's facts.
You don't have to trade that shit in and be with a regular nigga that go and work a 40-hour job, and he gonna come to you every day, and then y'all can figure that shit out and make sure that y'all planning accordingly so that y'all can depend on the federal government to take care of you for the rest of your fucking life. You gonna live.
Anton, they don't want that.
You gotta live a regular life.
And you know what's funny, like Mika was saying, is that they're not gonna want the 40-hour guy also who can give them that time. You need to go do something. Go with your friends. Go work more. I want this. Oh, you ain't got the money for it. Why you not working enough? They not gonna want that guy either. A lot of the time they just be in their emotions so much they don't know what they want. That's why women are very spontaneous. They react off of just so many of these different endorphins or these hormones things that happen. They can't really just say like, I want this and this is how it's gonna be for the long haul. No. It's just, you have to kind of almost like, give them little doses of different things that kind of keep spiking that little dopamine for them, because they're just very different, man. For us, we're used to doing the same thing. Sometimes, honestly, that's men's downside, is that we get too comfortable doing the same thing, and we'll get stuck in places and positions because we just don't know how to be as spontaneous and have those dopamine hits as women have a lot of the time.
Now, if you want a nigga that's about to get it and take care of business, it's gonna be a trade-off. I'm not gonna have it. That's the other side that women don't have a conversation about amongst themselves. If you want a high value dude, a highest value dude, he not gonna be up under you all day, and he not gonna come home after 40 hours.
No, can't.
No, Anton, we know we do have those conversations. The women don't want to listen to that. Right? So if you tell them that, they're like, oh no, he can find time. He can do this, he can do that.
Exactly what I said.
Bro, they don't want to hear it.
Yeah, and but back, this is what I want to say. I don't want this to be too long, so y'all can finish watching the podcast. But with Judge Mathis, he's from a different era. Judge Mathis is from the era of love songs, Baby I Need You Back, Ain't No Sunshine When She's Gone, It's Not Warm When She's Away. He's from that era. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. She's from that era. And this house just ain't no home. That song hit, man. I just wanted to, piece that in too. But he's never going to see it from the side of an Anton, because all he knows is, I want my baby back. I love my baby. I'm going to get my baby back. That's my woman. But his wife is already in a more modernized state with seeing how women move now, that they can just move differently. And she's a rich woman too. So that's even more of a tough situation, because that means she has to keep her mental intact from when they first was with each other till the end. See, he's still going to be the same. He's never going to change through that. But her emotional side will definitely change, because society will change it. So that's my thoughts on it, man. I understand with Mathis on why he does what he does. and why he wants his wife back, because he's from a different era. He's cut. Yeah, look at it, y'all. This y'all grandfathers right here, man. Mathis is like your grandfather, one of your older uncles. Think about it. We starting to get older now. I'm in my early 30s. This would be your dad, your grandfather. It depends on how old you are. They move like this. This is how they treat their women. They were very simpish. Some of them were. I would say the men during the 70s time period were all on like the simpish side. But I'll say this, the women were different too. I would argue that the women might have been worth imping for a little bit if they were, a lot of them were more staying in the home. They weren't leaving. They weren't leaving. They weren't getting divorced and stuff like that. So they probably were a little bit more worth doing that for during that time period. Women were a lot more. Yeah, think about it. I think sexual exclusivity was a lot more focused on one guy. It wasn't as open as it is now. So when you had that woman, you was getting like pure sexual access. That was your main dopamine hit. You didn't have porn. You didn't have side chicks and all that stuff. Now you had some guys that was like that playing the field. Don't get me wrong. People were still busting it down, but it was not as prevalent as it is in 2024. We all know the sexual market has blown a roof off the top of it. The lid has popped off. Everybody's busting it down and tearing up guts and getting guts torn. But back then, it was a lot more, exclusive to just a relationship, one couple. So that's why to simp for it, it was your woman at that point. It was mainly just yours. It wasn't everybody else's or just your time period. So he's still operating from his general thought from being an old schooler, opposed to her modern brain to even divorce him publicly. Very if there was no infidelity involved, very disrespectful on you, Miss Mathis. Very disrespectful on you. You take a big L for that. Because if it wasn't something, even with infidelity, I think you still should stay for sure. Because if he ain't been cheating on you, what you really fighting for? But let's say he did something really heinous. I don't know. Let's say he get a woman pregnant or something like that. Something wild. Okay, I kind of get why you would probably even be thinking of the thought of it. But you probably still should stay for sure. But if it ain't nothing on those grounds, if you just divorcing because of time and a vacation, what are we doing? That literally makes no sense. No sense whatsoever. But I want y'all to dive further into this. I want to hear y'all thoughts on it. What do you think? Do you think men should be more proud to take their wife back? Judge Mathis taking his back. Do you think he should say, you know what, off to the gulag? Like, no, let's see if you fight your way out of it. I want to know y'all thoughts on that. This is JayB Reacts. And until next time, peace.